Good morning. I'm just wondering if we should start the speaker session now, because I can see that's a little bit weird setting here. So I don't know if I can ask you to, I don't know, come closer a little bit or something. Right? Thanks a lot. So the title of my presentation is Your Product Needs a Story. And funny thing for me is that this place is called Sanatorium Kultury right now. But like a few years ago, I was standing on this stage and singing. The club here was called Puzzle, and each week we had jam sessions here with our friends. So that's interesting because I really well know this place and remember this place. But I remember this place because of the feelings I had before, because it was of course an entertainment, but Puzzle offered me some story, right? I was here attending to jam session, but I didn't recognize this place as itself. So now Sanatorium Kultury is more puzzle to me than Sanatorium Kultury. But this is why I want to tell you that it's a really important thing to create a story around whatever you do. So as it was told, I'm Miłosz Jarosiewicz. I work as a marketing manager for MyPhone. If anybody know a company called MyPhone? Alright, like 10, 15 people, cool. Alright, thanks. So we produce smartphones and cell phones. We are operating since like 2007, 2008, and we are part of Capital Group Telforce One. It's a leader on the GSM accessories market in Poland. And yeah, sorry, I'm just getting used to. So I want to ask first, who is into marketing here or public relations? Like some of you. Alright. Yesterday I was meeting with my friends and just talking, and at one moment she asked me about some free taxi I told her about. So yeah, there is a taxi company that you can ride for free until Sunday here in Wrocław. And she was like, hey man, listen, because I'm with my friend and we can ride for free until Sunday. And what's the name of the company, because I don't remember. And I was like, you mean Uber? Just like, yeah, this company. So they were like, oh, okay, man, there's a free taxi, cool, alright, so we can go somewhere. And for me, it was a little bit weird because Uber is not a taxi company in itself for me. Maybe I'm a little geek, but they affect somehow how we evolve, and you can see really big changes around the world because of what they do, right? Like you have those demonstrations in France, and I think that we will have some here in Wrocław as well. So it's really important for us marketers and public relations guys to be aware how we build the story around the products and how people will remember the product in itself. So I have a few tips for you today, and I will start with this one, and it's called Name Your Product Niche. So imagine I have like 30, 40 smartphones in our offer. We are on the middle budget segment, and try to distinct them, like how to market smartphones, like 40 smartphones in a similar price, and make them somehow different. So I will give you 3 examples of campaigns I did before. The first one is MyPhone Luna. That's a 5.5 inches smartphone, and it was in October 2014. So I was just thinking how to market a product like that. And every time I have a product to, I don't know, to build a story around, I'm looking for so-called USPs, unique selling points, and I'm trying to mark out some points I can tell about the product that are important. So this one is 5.5 inches, and I don't know if you know, but we can call that device from this size of screen a phablet. So I just went with first Polish phablet on the market. The second one was a iPhone Infinity. That's a 4.7 inches smartphone. And it was pretty expensive for our company. It costs like 800 zloty. Glass from the both sides. And it's similar to Sony Xperia or Huawei P7. So I was thinking about how to market, and it was our flagship product. So we went with a premium class smartphone, and this is how I built all the press releases and how we could marketing the product. The third one is MyPhone X, and that's one of our product category called Hammer, like outdoor products. And it's a cell phone, like smartphone with IP68 certificate. It's waterproof, dustproof, and with a really solid construction. So it was not so hard to like build something around such a product, but it was expensive, 1,000 zloty. So we were just thinking if it will go through, because our company didn't have such expensive products before. That's one of examples of printed ads for everyday warriors. That was the claim. So each time when I have a smartphone, I want people to know what it's capable of. So I send it to different websites, like technology websites, Spiders Web, Antweb, and GSM. Do you know any of them? Yeah? Right, cool. So I need reviews of the product. So when I send this one to people, they ask me, alright Miłosz, it's cool, but I have a question if I can keep the cell phone after, because I cannot guarantee that it will be like working still after. And I was like, alright, it's an armored smartphone, so do whatever you want. I suppose they want to test it in extreme conditions, so it went through. So it was run over. You want to say something?
Yeah. In the summer, I was on the camping, and this fall, I was making calls from underwater in the pool.
Right. I've seen it on a movie. All right.
Orange phone.
And that's a social proof. Cool. So it was run over by car. It was dropped from the 9th floor, and it survived. So imagine 9th floor. It was frozen, unfrozen, baked in a pickle at 80 degrees. Went to the end of the world, to Siberia, because we started a cooperation with two guys who had a journey, and they went like, I don't know, 8,000 kilometers, so they just needed something really powerful. And it was kicked and scored the goal. Like one of the guys just took the phone and kicked it as a football ball, I don't know. It survived. So that was like 3 examples. And I want to say that we distinct categories with different targets. So MyPhone offers smartphones, MyPhone offers cell phones called Simple Life with really simple functionality, and Hammer as an outdoor product. And it's really important to see what categories you have in your company. But I have like 2 examples more. And the first one is the world's best travel jacket. That was a Kickstarter project. I don't know if you know about it. But a guy created the project, and he collected $9 million for it with 44,000 people. So I was just thinking, who is the target of this project? And if you are a traveler in yourself and you like to travel, you know what travels are, that you need, I don't know, like safe options. You will find some benefits in the project itself, so it was successful. And another one is Uber, of course. So just a few words, you know the guy? Probably, that's Michał Sadowski, but they posted a picture that like one of really famous Wrocław guys from tech startup community use Uber services, but the question is, does it work for you? If you are a target group of Uber, because I can say that I am, they're not a taxi company for me. So the question is, if they set up a target in a good way. So another point, be aware how it corresponds with your brand. So just a little flashback. MyPhone started in 2008, and we started with simple cell phones. So they were called grandma phones. In Polish, babcia phone, który wymiata. So we got a lot of reviews. A lot of people were recognizing our brand as a company which produces cell phones for old people. That was so cool. Another one. We are a technology partner of really known chain of markets, Biedronka. So we do a lot of deals there. We sell, like 10, 20 models a year in Biedronka. So as well, I have a patch, like that's a company which has Biedronka smartphones. So this is when I came to the company, 2014, in the beginnings of 2014. I had a company which were producing babcia phones, like grandma phones, and Biedronka phones, and I had to change the vision that we want to do high-tech smartphones. And that was my main task. So change the vision and make them believe it. It was really hard because a lot of people, when I asked them, tell me that, alright, my phone is a company which produces grandma phones or whatever, but we are working hard on how to change it. And after 1 year, I was working more with content marketing, etc. And we created series of articles. One of them were called Polski smartphone, który chce podbić świat. It means like Polish smartphone which wants to conquer the world. And in the beginning of 2015, this year, we were attending to a few big events in Las Vegas, Barcelona, Hanover, and so on. So we've spent a lot of money just to prove that we are a company with ambitions, and I could talk about it. So we created an article that we want to conquer the world because I could say so. So people could believe. And we had more than 50 or 60 releases on big portals like WP, Onet, Interia, Money, Forbes, and so on. I don't know how many people seen it, but I think that's a big number. And another one from Spider's Web, Polish smartphones, we rule the world. Maybe it seems funny, but it worked. So the question is, what is your aspiration with your product or a service? I just have one tip for you. So it's sum up what you have done and what are you willing to accomplish. So name the perfect scenario. I could say that in a perspective of like 4 or 5 years, my phone would be on different markets because we've been selling phones to more than 20 countries, and we've sold like 1.5 million of them up to date. But name the perfect scenario. I could say that this will be a Polish smartphone which gonna conquer the world. The question is what your product can do. So what is the mission and what problems do you resolve? You can just go like 5 years forward, see where can your product be or where can you be or your service. And take the headings of an article you want to see in main media, take them up to today and write an article about it. And focus on PR and press releases. I think that there is a lot of things we can do in this matter because it's not so hard to write a good press release, but we don't do it. There are a lot of informations. I think we're messing with all of them. It's really hard to find a time just to find useful informations, but it's really important. Just try to sit down, write an article about your product or service, and send it wherever you want, wherever you can, because it's simple, it's free, and people don't do that. That's weird, a little bit. And of course, deliver. If you have a press release, it's not about sending one email. It's about looking for connections. It's about calling them, about asking them, about reminding them. Please take a look at my press release. Take a look what I have done, and I can guarantee you that there will be an effect of it. So a few quotations I made during the presentation. So people will remember quality of the brand, not of the product in itself. So imagine I have 40 smartphones, and if one of them is broken, and I have one guy who bought it, he will remember that my company produces bad products, and he will tell like 100 people about it, and I don't want it. So you have to take care of quality of our brand in itself, not of the single product. Focus on the content for existing clients. So it's much cheaper to maintain an existing client than get a new one. So after there is a deal, after there is a contract, make sure that you are in touch with them. Create a content with them. So a contest for users, like a competition or a contest for the best use. And if there are groups, integrate with them all separately. Keep the integrity of your communication. So we have different platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So please remember, do not copy and paste. You can like poke somebody on Twitter, send him a direct link to some landing page or whatever, but do not copy and paste. Just remember about the integrity of the language. The more arguments, the bigger chance they will believe it. So if I have 200 publications and on a different platforms, there is a bigger chance people will believe it because they've seen it in different sources. So somebody told him about it, they read it about it on different media, but they will believe it if there is more than one source of the information. People don't remember all of it, but they remember how they felt. So I'm sure that you will not remember all of what I said, but you will remember how you felt today. So if you're for the first time and it's a little bit, I don't know, weird situation for you because you didn't attend to any of tech events, you'll remember how you felt. Like I was a little stressed, or I was really, you know, cheered up because of the people. You will remember how you felt, but you will not remember all of it. Give them the product and show further use in different contexts. So if I have a product, I can teach people how to use it, like all the time. Every day you can look for one more thing, how can you use your product. Right, so I think I have to finish, so that was about it. Thank you, good luck. If you have any questions, go ahead, that's my email, my cell phone. Thank you for your attention.